6:16. It is Thursday. This is 1320 WILS. Amazingly, U.S. healthcare spending actually went up by the fastest pace since President Barack Obama took office last year. How's that happening? Let's talk to Danny O'Connell, health insurance expert at BRG. Danny, great to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and so this came out of the Department of Health and Human Services. What explains this? We're seeing the increase even faster now that the Affordable Care Act is in place.
Yeah, there's a couple things that explain this. So number one, anytime when you look at a group or an individual in the first year that they have health insurance, you have higher than normal utilization. So now you have new people that are getting into the pool that haven't had coverage before. Mm-hmm. So they have that ID card, and the first thing they want to do is go and use it. But the problem to Obamacare, if you want to call it that, is that there weren't any of these younger folks that were signing up and the healthier people signing up. So you're getting a really adverse selected pool there.
Okay, so does this mean the costs are going to slow down in their increase in the coming years, or?
There's a combination. That's a great question. So number one, prices are going to go up. There's also what I call the hidden cost increases, meaning every year your out-of-pocket actually goes up on your plan, and most people don't realize that. Like this year for 2016, it's gone up to $6,850, meaning that you're now going to have to pay more out-of-pocket when you do get treated, and then you have fewer providers and fewer doctors who are accepting it.
Okay. So you're saying even when the healthier folks start signing up, the costs are going to still keep going up?
Yeah, what happens is it's kind of called a death spiral, is if the healthy people don't jump in at the beginning and you've got the sick people in there, they're going to continue to utilize and drive up claims, which are going to drive up premiums. Mm-hmm. Well, if I'm a healthy person, if I wasn't buying at $150, I'm probably not going to buy something worse at $300.
Well, okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. So what kind of an increase should we expect this year, next year, the year after?
Yeah, so this year, on a lot of these individual policies, you were seeing anywhere from 10 to a 15% increase. However, the largest reason why that was as low as it was is because of plan changes and network changes. Mm-hmm. So now it's really hard to even find a regular PPO network or even see regular doctors or your doctor taking these plans anymore. So it's kind of like, well, how good is it really if I can't use it?
So the doctors, why are the doctors not accepting the plans?
Yeah, so there's a number of reasons why. Primarily, though, it was written into the law that the health insurance companies actually had to verify benefits for people for up to 90 days whether or not they paid their premium. So that's why you saw in 2014 about half the net new policies, meaning people who didn't have insurance before, went out and bought it. Half of them canceled their policy before the year was over.
Okay, because they were still covered, you're saying.
Yeah, so now they're getting better, and the doctor's offices are actually calling and saying, well, can you tell me when they're paid through? When are they paid up until?
Wow, okay. And so 10 to 15% increase you said already. So what are we going to see, you think, next year?
Well, I would anticipate at least that because there's only so much that you can take away. Mm-hmm. And still work and operate within the confines of the law. So how small can you get the network to where this is even still affordable and offset these premium increases?
I mean, everything you're saying sounds bad. Is there anything that we've gained by the Affordable Care Act?
There is a small part of the population that is better off. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't understand all their choices and options beforehand. For example, every state was required to have a guaranteed insurability pool, meaning if you didn't have any coverage offered through an employer, a spouse, anywhere you could get it, and you were deemed uninsurable, you were living with cancer, going through cancer right now, you did have a guaranteed insurable pool in your state. Mm-hmm. And what we did see was those plans were typically priced about the same as the Affordable Care Act plans, but you could actually get better benefits and have a better network. Okay. So unfortunately,
go ahead.
Yeah, there were people back then that didn't realize that existed. So those people probably are now more educated and have been able to find options that maybe they didn't know were in existence before.
So the costs are going to keep going up. So for those that aren't signed up, who may be healthy, are not using insurance, what are they going to do, you think, then?
Well, what you're typically going to do is really look at what your individual out-of-pocket spend typically is and say, I'm a person that I would rather pay less money to the insurance company because I don't ever use it and just know that I'm going to pay a little bit more when I go in. So instead of purchasing a plan that has a copay, maybe I look at like a bronze level plan that has a high deductible, catastrophic in nature, everything goes against that deductible, and I'm responsible for the first $6,000 to $6,850 out of pocket on my own.
Gotcha. Basically, they'll be going for the low-level plans. Do you think a lot of people just take the penalty without signing up at all? Or?
Well, some people do, and the unfortunate part about that is the penalty goes up every single year, and you don't find out what your penalty is until after open enrollment's closed. So for last year, they're thinking, I paid this penalty as 1% of my household income per family member. So that's what they operate in 2015 under. However, the penalty for 2015 was now 2%, and then next year it goes to 2.5%. And a lot of times when we look at plans to an employer, when you factor in, okay, my employer's paying for something and that my portion can be tax deductible. Right. I had an incident yesterday where a group annually, it cost an employee $170 more to be on the group health plan than to take the penalty.
Wow. Well, people have to make decisions. Danny O'Connell, health insurance expert. Danny, thank you.
Thank you.